Jessica Hughes joins us on the Kogo Newsline. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
How about all this attention?
Well, some of it's not so great, but, we've got kids, and we're both proud military members, and we love this country, and we love the Constitution, and we want to see it upheld.
All right, now, Jessica, what branch of the military are you in?
I was in the Marines. My husband was in both the Army and the Air Force.
Okay, and you got out of the Marines when?
Oh, about 9-10 years ago.
Okay, all right, and you guys have a family. How many kids do you have?
We have 3, a little girl and 2 boys.
All right, what are their ages?
My boys are 6 and 9, and my little girl's 22 months.
Okay, so nothing like a handful.
No, not at all.
So you get this call. Now, here's I want to, because I'm thinking of you. You're at home and mom with these kids, and you get a phone. I mean, it's one of these, I hate these calls about dinner time when they particularly come, and they're trying to sell me something. But in this case, it was the Obama campaign, right?
Yes, and it was even worse than dinner time. We were on our way back from the ER with our 9-year-old.
Oh, my.
And it was on my cell phone, so I was a little irritated when it came.
So you're in the car coming back from ER. Is the kid all right?
Yes, he's all right. He had a mild concussion, run-in with a basketball hoop.
Oh, my. All right. So anyway, you're all worried. You've come back from ER. You're with the kids. You're in the car.
Yes.
And you're on your cell phone. And so tell me about the conversation.
Well, there wasn't much of a conversation. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I speak my mind. And I answered the phone, and when the girl said, "Hi, I'm calling from the Obama Volunteers of Texarkana. I'd like to know if you would support Senator Obama on November 4th. I replied, "No, I don't support him. Your guy is a socialist who voted 4 times in the state Senate to let little babies die in hospital closets. I think you should find something better to do with your time." And I hung up.
All right, so you gave her a piece of your mind, and then what happened?
Well, I thought that was the end of it, but the next day, the doorbell rings, and we go up to answer it, and there's 2 people in suits on the front porch, a guy and a woman, and they've got their government car across the street by my neighbor's house, and I'll be honest, I knew exactly who they were the minute I went to the door. And I thought initially they were there because I called the man a socialist, because that's what I said. And I thought, wow, I'm calling the sheriff's office, and they're going to leave my porch, immediately, because I can call someone a socialist if I want to. But the woman flashed her badge real quick, and she said, she gave the quote that you've already stated. And I guess then I realized it was a little different than what I expected.
So this volunteer for Obama, or whoever it was that called you originally, twisted what you said about the little babies dying in hospital closets into a death threat against Obama.
Yes.
So how did the conversation go with the Secret Service then?
It wasn't so great. I mean, at first we were, reasonable. My husband kind of laughed when they said it. He was at the door as well, and he said, "Oh, no, she called him a socialist." She didn't say anything about him dying, and I gave them my full quote, and I just kind of stood there like, okay, what do you want now? And well, the woman says, "Oh, really? Well, why would she say that? Why would she make that up? What would she have to gain?" And I said, well, I guess she wasn't happy with, my opinion of her candidate. And the woman tells me, "That's right, you were rude."
Wait a second. The Secret Service woman said you were rude.
Yes.
So now it's a crime to be rude.
Apparently so.
My, then what did you say?
I said, well, yeah, and, they called me on my cell phone. And at this point, the gentleman, who was, I think, kind of playing the good cop, gets out his pad, and he says, well, just tell us a little bit about what you think about Barack Obama. I said, oh, no, I don't think so. You are not going to question me about my thoughts. And, I was a little upset at this point. They're going to ask me what I think. I said, look, I told you what I said. That's fine. I'm not going to talk about what I think. And
that was quick. That was quick thinking, Jessica.
Yeah, well, they tried to push me about it, and at one point he tried to compare it to if I got in a car accident, wouldn't the police officer ask you, were you drinking, were you on your cell phone? I said yes, he would, because those are pertinent to the event. But he wouldn't ask me how I felt about speeding or what I think of red Chevys. Now, I told you what I said, and that's the only thing pertinent. I said my 2 children are inside. You can ask them what I said. My husband's here. He told you what I said. I don't know why you're still here. And then I noticed they had, like, a file on me. I said, you know, you've got this file on me. Is there anything in my history that would suggest I'm some loon that makes a death threat against a political candidate? And, of course, they said no, you know. And they even intimated, you know, we kind of knew it was a wasted trip on our way up here.
Wait a minute,
but,
Jessica.
Then why are you still here?
Whoa, wait. Well, let's back up.
Mm-hmm.
The Secret Service agents had a file on you.
Oh, yeah, prominently displayed with my name on it.
Oh, my.
Well, I expect, yes, they work quickly, 22 hours. I mean, there's nothing to have a file on me.
Wow, there's a file
maybe.
now on you, and you've been rude. So it's not a death threat. It's just that you've been rude. You called him a socialist.
Yes.
What a story.
And, I asked them, at this point, I said, well, wait a minute. What about the tape? You know, it had all happened so fast. I said, haven't you listened to the tape of the call? I mean, listen to it. You'll know that I didn't say what this woman is claiming. Well, there is no tape. And now I'm furious because it dawns on me that these people with nothing but, you know, and I said this, I said, with nothing but the partisan word of an Obama volunteer, you are on my porch and you are questioning me about my thoughts. And the female actually had the gall to say, you have no evidence that she supports Obama.
Wait a minute. She called from the Obama campaign, didn't she?
Well, gee, yeah, it wasn't hard for me to put it together either.
I'm just connecting the obvious dots here. I mean, I'm no detective.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Now, they also told me at one point when I was being uncooperative, the good cop agent tried to say, look, you know, we're trying to help you out. You know, we came to you first, right? We didn't go to all your neighbors and your family and ask embarrassing questions about you yet. I said, well, look, you can go ask anybody anything you want, but you're not going to ask me about my thoughts on my porch. I got nothing to hide. You know, I'm not worried about that, but it's just the principle of it. You know, you don't question a citizen's thoughts, you know, over this foolish lie that was told. You know, I found it very insulting. They stayed here for about a half hour. They also told me, you know, at one point I said, look, I want to file a counter complaint. How do I go about that? Because she filed a false charge that is very serious. And they told me I can't. You know, I don't know her identity. They do, but they're not going to release it. And I said, you know, don't I have the right to face my accuser in this country? And the gentleman said, well, we're not in a court of law, and that's a good thing, right? I said, no, it's not. I want to go to court. Let's go right now. You know, you bring her to court, and I'll come to court, and she has to swear under oath to tell the truth, or she has to tell her lie to the court. But not this baloney where, you know, some nameless, faceless person who's irritated by my opinion sends the thought police to my door. I'm not going to go for that.
Well, I hope this is an isolated instance, but I've got to believe that given the organization that allowed them to come up with a file on you in 22 hours and at your door in under 24, based on no evidence except the testimony of a Barack Obama volunteer who thought you were rude. Jessica, this is frightening for the rest of us. It must have been frightening for you.
It was. Mostly it made me angry, but it does scare me, you know, that kind of thing goes on. I'll tell you, I supported the Patriot Act. I believe we need to be kept safe from terrorists. But, you know, that's what that was for, right, to keep us safe from terrorists. Now, my neighbor up the street contacted our state senator, not federal level, but our state senator, and his office told her that they could have come into my home and searched it with no warrant.
Really?
And that frightens me. And, you know, I have had this out on the Internet, and a lot of people have posted that they also know people this has happened to or it's happened to them. And I'll tell you, I find it very frightening, and mostly because when I thought about it after a while, two things really struck me. One, these same agents told me that they came straight from Houston to me. And they told me during the conversation, you know, hey, we realized, we knew on the way this was going to be a wasted trip. Well, then why did they not go to Texarkana first and interview this girl? Why did they not go to see if she was even a remotely credible witness? You know, and secondly, I don't believe that this girl really had the pull to send them to my door. I think that someone higher up in the campaign had to make that call. And mysteriously, I don't know for a fact that this has anything to do with it, but sometime between Thursday when they showed up at my house and Monday morning when the press contacted the Obama campaign, their Texas Obama campaign, the head overall of Texas Obama campaign, has been moved from Texas to Virginia, and she is not available for comment.
Interesting stuff. Well, once a Marine, always a Marine, Jessica, and we appreciate your service to our country and your telling the story. It's great.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for standing up for the freedom of everyone, even in this case against our own government. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Jessica Hughes. There's a story.